Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, shalom. And in this lesson, I just want to get into. We're gonna get into. Hopefully, this one is quick. Shouldn't take too long, but it's going into for the woman out there. I'm probably gonna entitle this perfect example or life example. Real live example of how proving how a woman should be kept pure, kept as a virgin. In other words, you women should be virgins. And grace to you, granted to you, because in this society you will learn to grow up, hopping from man to man to you. So for some woman, you had a mother that taught you the wrong ways, taught you her ways, not the ways according to the Father, Abba, Nawa, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Abba is Father, the Nawa in the end, making it plural, meaning our Father, Yahweh. So, but yeah, for your sisters though, you woke up and you got ashamed of your ways, or at least you should be, if you're not. Okay, because you could have a sister out there that's proud, or it could just be a demon in you, or a demon in her that's making her think that, but she's not thinking that. She's rebuking that. No, she's praying to the Lord that the Lord knows she wasn't thinking that. But so yeah, because a real woman of the Lord, with a few sisters out there, you woke up and were ashamed of yourself for that, in those ways you were taught to walk in and changed. So basically, I was out there walking the other day on this little trail, nature trail near my home. So I was walking by there, and all of a sudden, this little park there has a river there, and all of a sudden I looked at, the spirit hit me and just tell myself and observe what the spirit was telling me through this river there. And what I observed, the right scriptures talk about, it reminded me of the scripture, basically, essentially here. I'll pull it up. Proverbs 25, Proverbs 5, and it's also in Proverbs 25, where the scriptures talk about waters, clean waters, dirty waters, and the differences between them, major differences between them. One representing the good, that's the clean ones, the fresh ones, which is also how we should be drinking our waters. The other one representing the evil ones, the dirty ones, the deceitful ones, or is the unclean waters, the dirty waters. And so when I saw this river there, soon I'll show a picture of it. It just looked dirty. It just looked unclean and contaminated. I thought about the North American Indians and how this land must have been, and its produce must have looked like and been before this devil came into the scene and destroyed it all. With all this war and lies and deception and infestation out here in this earth, down here in this earth, this planet. There's many other planets that are clean and untouched by this devil. This is the only one that's very dirty and polluted. Which I got a video lined up for that, going into the various planets, stars, and houses, mansions. Yahushua says he has many mansions prepared for us. Woman prepared for us. Well, Lord knows what kind of woman we like too, and he has that prepared for us. Which should make us more amped up to do this work, to preach this truth. Which we made the right decision to do. So here it says an AI overview. I'll get this first, then Proverbs 5, then Proverbs 25. The book of Proverbs uses the imagery of clean and dirty water metaphorically to contrast wisdom, righteousness, and marital. That one goes off. I'll skip that one. Folly, wickedness, and adultery. The prominent scriptures are Proverbs 5:15-17 and Proverbs 25 and 26. Yahushua also talks about in the New Testament. That's how you know he's also Solomon, because both of them were known to use water as a metaphor to explain righteousness and wisdom, the truth. Proverbs on clean and fresh water. The reference to clean, fresh, or running water symbolize life, purity. All right, and that's what those pure waters remind you of. The purity, the touchedness of it, which means it's pure. And satisfaction found within God's intended boundaries, such as a faithful marriage. Okay, that one goes off there, because by that they mean the man can't have another woman if she's single, especially if she's single. They hate that in this world. The other day I talked to my mom about that. She heavily disagreed with that and said, no, that's incorrect. Basically, it's not right. As if it was the other way around. The woman cheating on her man, or wanting to have other husbands than the man having many wives. So this is Proverbs 5, verse 15-17. It says right here, you should enjoy your own wife as you enjoy clean water to drink. Yeah, your own wife. Your own wife back in this time would have meant that she was a virgin. You had her when she was young, probably at age 12 to be more exact, preferable, preferable. Maybe at 14. Fun fact, King James married his wife, Anne of Denmark, when he was 23 and she was 14. So does that make him a pedophile? Which is the preferable age? She might have been 12, I don't know. Now I think she was 14, but yeah. 16. You would not pour your good water onto the streets, so do not waste your love on other women. Yeah, when it says don't waste your love on other women, it's not saying don't have another woman if she is pure, she's clean. It's going into other woman, meaning strange woman. Woman that's already been touched by many men, various men, especially if she willfully, ignorantly, and happily, voluntarily, stubbornly, still stubbornly, hopping from man to man to man for man, just because that's what she was made for and intended for as her lot. Then, yeah, stay away from them. And in this day and age, Lord knows we can't really have a pure virgin. That's why I personally believe through the Spirit, man, the Lord really doesn't give us to deal with most of these unclean, tainted women, man, because deep down, ultimately, the law says that's really not. On the deeper level, it's really not even lawful. You should be ashamed of it. It ain't really lawful. If you want to be perfect, technically speaking, just saying, like, if you want to be very, very, very perfect, you would be ashamed of yourself. You really would be like, damn, well, our culture, our laws, bro, it doesn't even want us to deal with these fucking whores. Like me personally, the last time I've been with a woman, I would say, I want to say almost a year and a half. A year and a half about already. Yeah. A bit over that, like 7 months already, going probably even 8. And even before then, I never really was dealing with women like that. It was a whole year since I dealt with that broad. So the Lord's been thinning me down more and more and more as I've gotten into this truth. So, and it's actually more even as far for a man even pure, because if you pop that woman with a condom on, the condoms have these plastic parasites there's parasites in the condom that can shrink your penis, if I'm not mistaken. Destroy your testosterone, your prized possessions, your balls, technically speaking. And Slovakia, getting off topic again, but that's also why Esau really destroys our testosterone, because he knows that's a man, especially us as the Israelite men, more specifically, that's our prized possessions right there. Esau doesn't want us on our top testosterone masculine level. And that's why this is verse 17. Keep it for you and your wife. Do not share it with other women. Let's get that in the KJV, verse 17. Hold on. All right, here's the KJV, verse 17 on that one. Let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee. Yeah, the easy translation went off there. So the easy translation still goes off. I have to correct myself. I did say it goes hard in the GNT and the KJV sometimes, and even the NLT sometimes, but it still goes away to fuck off. Like in that verse there, at verse 17 there, it says, share them not with your wife. But it's really supposed to say, let them be only thine own and not strangers with thee. That means the woman you're with, the woman you choose to be with, it should be your own, of your own, not of that other man's, and then that other man's before that man, and then so on and so forth. Yeah, and when I was with the woman, now that I think about it, when I was with that chick I was with, now it makes sense also why the Lord doesn't want us to really deal with these women, because a lot of them have already been used up, and we already know, brothers already know that scientifically, that when a woman goes with this man, that man, it destroys her pair bonding nature within her. They said, well, if she's been with 3 men before that husband, she might have a 60% chance, and not like a 75% chance it will work. She's been with 5 men before that, she has like a 40% chance it will work. If she's been with like 7 men or over that much, man, if she's been 7 of men, she has a 25% chance the marriage would last. So the more men she's been with, the less and less and less chances she'll have on being lucky to have a marriage that will work, or especially even last. Once she decides she'll so-called want to be with this one man. So it just shows you, man, how the Lord set our bodies up. That's why you gotta watch what you eat. The earth, the way the weather things are set up. You think the Lord just designed all this and it's gonna allow it to where we use it, especially if we're over abusing it, so that it'll work? It won't work. The interface, the program, it's already programmed to go haywire if there's anything. It senses anything that's off balance, off course. It's like with a program you might have in the computer, installing your computer, like McAfee's to kill viruses. It'll detect the virus and it just kill it. This one brother brought it up from the Kansas camp. Don't know the brother's name is. Plus, I'm really not even good with names, Salaki, but Great Millstone brother brought it up how scientists did this experiment on it. Salaki, I'm forgetting off topic. I'll get back on topic in a minute, but some scientists did this experiment on some ants. They had all these ants there that was normal, in their right minds, non-diseased. And then they put one in that was sick, had diseases. So they took that in and drew him out from the crowd, the rest of the tribe. That's how it works when there's a disease, something that's out of place. Like if you, even for example, if you drink a whole gallon of water in one day, there's power in hydrating yourself. You got to be hydrated, but even with this body, it has limits. And if you step out those limits, you're gonna have consequences, effects, and then those effects show and manifest. Which is that's the second Esdras 9, and playing signs and miracles, wonders, and signs that are manifested. A blood moon isn't normal. Those ain't normal things. Originally, those things we're in our kingdom. Prime example, because in our kingdom we're never gonna have blood moons. Those are these signs that the Lord brought. Some of them are good. They could be positive. They could be blessings. Some of them are cursings, like a lunar eclipse. That's not normal. That's in this day and age, that's looked like as a curse, and it is a curse. But going back to this, Proverbs 5:18. Now we're on 18. Let thy fountain be blessed. That's the woman you're with, the woman you choose to be with. The Lord gives you. It's originally was meant to be blessed, to be in a blessed system, where she's a virgin. Eve, when the Lord gave Eve to Adam, Eve was a virgin. She wasn't touched. Adam was the first and the only to touch her. Because women are really just possessions. It should be your possessions. And when you think about your possession, you want it clean. You don't want that shit all dirty. So that's why it says, let thy fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Yeah, and if it's hard to pair bond with her, that's why your marriage is gonna have troubles. Because that woman you're with, or used to be with, who was, so if you used to be with her, she was a bitch. She you why were you wondering why you would argue so much and fight so much and have struggles in your connection with each other so much? Because she was already with many men before you, huh? So that's that dumb bitch's issue. Not now she's gonna she's really not the elect. She's gonna be cursed. You think of Mary Magdalene, though. She was she represented an elected lady, but you wonder why she had 7 demons on her, man, because she had all those men with her. She was unclean, impure, showing you also that spirits dwell in unclean vessels. If someone goes off and sins, sin is what makes you unclean. So it naturally makes sense that if you sin, you're gonna start attracting. It's inevitable that you're going to attract within you unclean spirits, unclean thoughts. End up becoming a faggot, committing incest with your mom, all kinds of unclean shit. You're gonna have starting of enjoying sucking another man's rod. Verse 19, let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. Why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? Come on. So now I'm gonna show this video that I had, that I recorded. I think it was a photo of this, to give you an example, and your woman an example This river represents a woman's berries touched and tampered with pussy. This river represents a woman's berries touched and tampered with pussy. Oh, so what I said in the video there was that river there represents a woman's berries touched, berries used, passed down on, tampered with vagina. And you see how unclean that dirty water is. I wouldn't drink out of that water. I don't know about you, bro, but I wouldn't drink out of this water. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't either if you have the right understanding within you, especially you brothers. Maybe one of these weirdos, heathens out here would. I wouldn't be surprised. This is America, Babylon. But us, we wouldn't drink out of this fucking water here, man. I'm pretty sure you would get fucking disease, malaria, listeria, Malaysia. I'm pretty sure that's this name sounds like a fucking disease. The name of the country sounds like a disease. So how fucked up it is, but Esau's done fucked up the water over there. But yeah, man. That river right there represents how a man should also be with a woman whose vagina has been used. You should not want to touch that. Now, granted to you, you have your freedom. You brothers have their liberties. There's brothers that really get these women back to back to back to back. But you brothers who don't, hey, you got an upper hand on that one than that brother right there. You're gonna be able to not have the other man's semen that's dwelling within her to pass on to you. And I don't care how many showers that bitch takes, bubble baths or whatever that bitch takes to try to clean out her vagina. Your vagina you're still gonna have those man's semen in her. Once a man puts a semen in you, that semen stays in you forever. You can't just take a magic little bubble bath and take out all the other man's semen there with one go. On top of it, this water ain't clean. This water ain't even that close to being that pure to even be able to do that. You have one body, and this is your only one body in this life. A motherfucker can get scars, big ass scar on his body from when he was 8, and that shit can still end up being there until he grows up till he becomes 80, 800, whatever the fuck. The woman gotta stop, get that out of your head. That shit makes you all clean all of a sudden. It might take a couple of germs out of you, bacteria out of you, maybe other little bits, just little bits of the man's semen out of you, or those various men's semen out of you. But that's minuscule amount. It's gonna stay in you, and then if another man pops you, for example, you were to go up in her now, especially without a condom. Once again, if you use a condom, you're fucked. Those condoms you get it might have to be a very special condom, because most of those condoms, the biggest, from big brands, name ones, so again, they got the parasites in there. It's gonna get inside of your penis, shrink your balls in your penis. Now, if you just decide to go raw dog in her, you're still fucked, because now you're gonna have many other man's semen from them inside of you, because your dick has a hole in it. There's a hole in your penis. It's basically the male version of the woman's, I guess what they call a clit. And how that semen's gonna enter inside of there. Now you don't know what kind of demons that man might have had, so now you're gonna have his demons inside of you. So yeah, man, pussy. This river represents a woman's. Yeah, and I'm guilty of that. So. Berries touched and tampered with pussy. This shit is dead. Shit is dead. I got the short here, which I uploaded a couple months back. This is going into these waters. This is how a woman's waters, if you know what I'm saying, referring to, should look like. Well, actually, I probably won't be able to play the video because it actually got blocked. Okay, so I'm not gonna play the video because the video got blocked. Maybe I can just play it without the sound. Okay, YouTube, copyright, free use, fair use, free use, fair use. You have this clip of this guy showing you where the water comes from. And when you look at this water right here compared to the one I was showing, it's all clear. This water right here you can just drink out of. And then there's other waterfalls out there in the earth still that are far more beyond cleaner than the ones here we're used to seeing in the cities in America. You can just drink straight out of, straight from. And that's also really, once again, how we should be able to be drinking our waters. And that also represents metaphorically how a woman's vagina should be. Her body count should be zero. Except for that one man that you're gonna be with. So come on. So leads me to the other scripture I had here. Proverbs 25:26 here. Let's get the AI first. It says from AI, it says is Proverbs 25:26 explained simply means that a good person who compromises with or gives into evil wickedness is like a muddied, polluted spring or well, like the one I saw and recorded on the clip that I showed you. Making good water undrinkable and useless, it's a warning that a righteous person wavering or compromising their morals corrupts like a woman. In this case, the example is a woman, but that works too. But in this case, we're speaking particularly with the woman. She can compromise her morals by having man jumping from man, from cock to cock to cock to cock. Corrupts the source of goodness, disappointing others and acting contrary to their convictions. The analogy, muddy spring, polluted well. A clean spring provides fresh, clear, life-giving water. Like a woman's vagina should if she's clean, if she's pure. When mud or dirt gets stirred up, that mud or dirt represents other men's filth. The water becomes, in this case, the water is her vagina, becomes dirty, unusable, and a disappointment. Yeah, because now you're gonna regret it. Now you're gonna have other men's semen in you now. Now, if I would have known this, if I would have known this before, I probably would have never even wanted to had sex with a woman, bro. Just giving it to you straight. Because honestly, now that I think about it, before sleeping with that bitch, I pretty sure I was less demons, less multiple personality issues. Now that I have that bitch's other man's semen on her, with her stupid, stanky, polluted fucking ass, now I feel like I got multiple personalities. Like even though, no matter how much I fast, or no matter how much times I may praise the Lord to take it out of me, that bitch's semen's from those other men. Their demons are always somehow, some way, they're gonna be in me, bro. It doesn't matter how many times I fast. Now, granted to you, through the Spirit, anything's possible. But let's just be real, reality. These demons never go away, and if anything, they come back stronger. That's inevitable. Even Yahweh Shai, after that 40-day fast, what did it say? And that was a powerful fast, 40 fucking days. You would think after that you'll be good for life. Doesn't work that way. The Lord said in the scriptures, it said there, it's the facts. Satan was still waiting for another opportunity. So Satan comes back around, and those demons still come back around. Like me, prime example, I struggle with suicidal thoughts sometimes. That demon hasn't ever run away since coming into this truth. I don't expect it to. It will come back around one day. And that's just me. You can have your own opinion, but the scriptures I'm just bringing out the scripture on that. The scriptures back me up on that. Not to get too personal with Salaki, but it's just gotta be personal sometimes with each other as a family. When a righteous person compromises their goodness, it becomes tainted, losing its purity and ability to benefit others. Yeah, and sometimes I feel like from popping that bitch, that stinky used up bitch. There's times I feel like I can't benefit the body as much because of now having those other men's semens and demons on me now, man. So once again, the semen goes into your dick hole, your male clit inside on the tip of your shaft. Am I crazy? Am I wrong? We all, yeah. We all have a hole in our shaft, the tip of our shaft, our penis. And if that woman already slept with 50 multiple men, those men's semen still in her. I don't care how many bubble baths, Epsom baths she might have taken. They're still in her, and if you pop her raw, they're gonna go inside of you. Now you're gonna have 50 demons inside of you, with their multiple demons. Maybe even this equals maybe even more demons. So it does equal more demons. Probably 70 plus or 20 plus demons from those 50 men. Okay, so let's get the scripture now. Proverbs 25:26 in the Easy English Bible. It's Proverbs 25 and 26. If you put dirt in a well, its good water becomes bad. It is the same with a righteous person who agrees to do wicked things. It is bad for you to eat. God, there's the point. Yeah, so that's really the point on this lesson there. But just to get off topic a bit before I close, because there's also something profound that I mentioned that I wanted to speak on there. If you put dirt in the well, its good water becomes bad, and that's what Esau did to our water. Now I'm speaking about the physical water. That's what Esau did to our water. He's done polluted it, tainted it with it. It's just straight up polluted and disgusting. Let's go back to this. Like, you don't want to drink out of this. Esau done polluted this whole thing. We're drinking out of plastic bottles, fluoride waters. I personally don't drink off any plastic and try not to drink off any plastic. I do drink off the faucet, but I don't just drink it raw like that. I put it in the stove, in the pot, and I boil it for like 20 minutes till it's bubbling. For like till it's boiling like for like 10 minutes. Well, I put it in there and wait till it boils, bubbles, keep it there for like another 10 minutes. Then I take it off and let it cool, and then drink it when it's cold. Put it in the fridge. That's how I personally drink my water. And even with that, put some ginger in, some ginger powder in, and I bought some actual turmeric the other day. I think that's ginger, and then put it in there raw, fresh there, and that. So it still might benefit me more than it's better that better than just drinking it raw or from plastic, man. Okay, so well, who knows? Maybe not, but I mean, I feel a difference though. Than from just drinking from the plastic, I definitely do. So, I mean, that's what I personally do with my water. You brothers can take that advice and do it that way, like that as well. But but this right here, this is some shit that thanks to Esau, man, right here. And once again, it's also metaphoric because it represents how our woman is bodies are today. They're and down there in the private area. You know what I'm saying? What I'm referencing by that. So I also saw out there when I was out there. I also looked at this little piece of land here, and I just fantasized and wondered how beautiful it would be to actually use this land there. But you can't do that. You can't do that eating fresh. Like Jake loves sweets. Jake loves meats. You can have all that without the processed shit. We'll get some peanuts. It's natural, organic peanuts. I go to this Mexican spot that has it. You can go in there and get some raw peanuts there. I personally love peanut butter. I love peanut butter, man. I love pretty much any type of nut or peanut. It could be sunflowers or seeds, sunflower seeds, bro. Dandelion seeds. Um, it's this thing called tamarind. It's a famous drink too, a Mexican drink too. You can get those raw from the Mexican spot. I go there and get some of those. Those are sweet too, better than tastes literally like sour candy. You never tasted any sour slash sweet candy? It tastes exactly like a tamarind, man. Get you some tamarinds, make it taste way better. I don't even need to buy any more of those artificial sweets and like that sour, which I wasn't either way. Wouldn't never buy any of those um, before, but especially when you know what those things have in them, but artificial dyes and shit destroy your mind basically, get you out from thinking clearly. Con, like just looking at this land right here, bro, you can have, imagining how you can have hundreds. This land was pretty big though. Like you could, it was just imagining if it was mine, what I would do with it. You already have a cabin back there. You see, I'm zooming in on the photo there. I would put at least 3 big ass chimneys on there, man. Make you warmth, have warmth in there, heat in there, for when it's winter naturally. Chimneys, man, big ass chimneys and tons of fire. Hundreds of sheep on one side there. 15 donkeys over there on that side. 10, 20 cows on the other side there. And then on the other side, you had a more further side there with more space. Your vegetables, your herbs, your crops, potatoes, and things like that of that sort there, right there. Avocado, fruits, trees, your apple trees, plantain trees. Me personally, I love plantains. Way better than, they're way more better than bananas. But yeah, man, I mean, I was just imagining that as well. I just wanted to mention that. And that goes into the blessings, man. I was basically essentially thinking of right there. Let's go there in Deuteronomy. But what does Esau do with that land? What is he having it there for? This is just like a park. Ain't for nothing. Like, especially in this day and age. This day and age with the economy and shit like that. Yeah, man, Esau made those artificial foods to, first and foremost, kill you people. Because those foods are designed also to eventually give you heart disease, and then Esau made the drugs to get prescribed, so you have to go to a doctor, pay tons of money and tons of money in there, and then that's also how those CEOs and elites up there, those higher ups there, and those businesses, wicked corporations get their money, their bread. This Netflix show called OxyContin, not Oxycoat, Cotton. It's actually pronounced OxyContin, CONTIN. There's a show on Netflix on there about that. It shows you how those businesses work, and how it shows you how the elites work out there. I believe there's 2 shows on that. There's a movie on that, and then there's a show on that. I would recommend the show on that. That one's just the one I personally watched. The other one's probably good too. I just watched the show one basically. When you have time, look into that, and also another show called Uber. There, it's also a good show on Netflix. Pretty much one of the only few of the best shows on Netflix there, along with the Czars. The Netflix original show called Czars, going into Tsar Nicholas II, and also the one with Ottoman Empire, the rise of empires, to show you Vlad the Impaler. My man Vlad the Impaler there was a savage, and I mean he went in for it. He believed in the scriptures. He went off though. He drank blood and shit, and man just I believe he was a brother, man, and he did drink blood and shit though. But that man was a Jake, man. He definitely went in against that Edomite, Mehmed II. I personally am convinced that Mehmed II was an Edomite. Because Mehmed II, it was in history, they say he was a faggot too, and was actually having sex with Vlad the Impaler's brother, younger brother, who was basically Uncle Ruckus, and loved the Ottoman ways and wanted to compromise and betray his brother over onto for the Ottoman Empire. We kind of, yeah, but that's what I saw with this land here. And then you can make your own wells there from there. Make your own well to get your source there from there. That's what I would do with this land if this was an actual righteous kingdom right there. But hey, man, we're living the curses. This is the curses we have right now, and so I accept it. But in the kingdom, man, hey, man, I'll get a land better than this one. 10 times, 1,000 times decked out with this one. All the fine, very fine, pretty woman there on there. Even they could walk naked there. If I would like, of course, not with all of them there. Just if there's one of them there, we're not into that we're not into that weird shit there like that. Yeah, yeah. There won't be no having this woman. Yeah, we know that's off. Having this woman, having threesomes and shit. That shit is off. That shit is wicked. Okay, and it's really yeah, it's demonic, bro, and that's we know that's off. So, but going back to the topic of that, basically, this is Deuteronomy 28 right here. I'll get Deuteronomy 28 here, verse. This is verse 3. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. Hey, so when we get our kingdom, we're gonna be blessed. Even when we choose to be in the city of the New Jerusalem, it's gonna be our city, personally made, exclusive for the Israelites, our bloodline descendants of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let's jump up to verse 1. And it shall come to pass that thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe unto all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that thou, Lord Yahweh thy power, will set thee high above all nations on earth, and that we're going to be equals with the other nations, to the stupid Church of Genesis ministries. Con. And also, if you're going to say the name Yahweh, you shouldn't have your head covered. and just go back to doing interviews with Adam 22. You already know who I'm talking about there. Nigga that loves his fitted caps on so much. Yeah, you're still no better than those niggas though, man. So anyway, moving on to verse, jumping down to verse 7. The Lord shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. And now today that's us. And he's just going to come back soon again. Right, Esau's going to come down again. And Jack's going to be fleeing 10 ways, trying to get out of the way. But in the kingdom, man, Esau's going to be the one that he's going to have revolts. But when those revolts happen, what does it say right here? He's going to come one way, then he's going to flee 7 ways. And there's accounts of this in the scriptures. When Joshua took out those living in Jericho, the Jebusites, I think it was, or the Ammonites. In one account, they fled like 10 ways from Joshua, because the Lord was with him. This is verse 12. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure. That's going to be a woman. It's going to be, or it's going to give you the woman you desire the most. The woman that gets you going the best way, if you know what I'm saying. The best woman that gets you attracted the best way, you know what I'm saying, man. If a bitch left you on this side that you really actually enjoyed, that you liked, you might have had her because you might have had her in a past life as well. And hey, Lord will give it back to you on the next life too. In her right mind. She's gonna be bowing her head, shamefaced in your presence, and give you the box when you want it. So really, that's how you should have, man, or Israelite man, especially if he's in his right mind, should get the box whenever he wants to. But we've been disobedient, so this is where we're at. But soon it's gonna change, and then the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. We're not gonna need anything from your nations in our kingdom. We're gonna give to y'all and give to y'all. Shit, we might even give y'all a whole section of land, and then another whole section of land to one of y'all relatives, or another one of your nation. And we're not gonna need shit from you. We ain't gonna ask anything from you. We're still gonna have the best pieces of their lands, the best spots of their land. Each time we go to visit them, they're gonna have to give us tribute. The best of their wine, the best of their women, the best of their flocks, the best of their crops. Come on. But let's jump up to verse 11. And the Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods. And I think of Abraham when he came back from conquering Sodom and Gomorrah and those other 3 cities. I think it was 5 cities. It was so much that he gave a tenth of it and still had much left. Matter of fact, he didn't even take anything except what was already his, and then what his man and his servants already ate, because Abraham already knew the Lord was going to bless him with much more. That was the faith our forefather has all the way back then. And in the fruit of thy ground, in the land which the Lord swore unto thy fathers to give thee, come. And the Lord is going to give us this again. Job had 7,000 sheep. I think it was 10,000 sheep, or 50,000 sheep and 7,000 cattle, ox, if I'm not mistaken. It was a very large number. So when you think about it, his land must have had to have been way larger than what the common folk here in America we have here, what we see here in our space, in our homes, trailers, shit like that, man. So come on. Skip verse 13. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If thou shalt hearken unto the commandments of Yahweh thy power, which I command thee this day to observe and do them, and thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to any other gods to serve them. Come. But it shall come to pass, thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And then it gives you the whole list of the curses we're in currently. So a few of them still to come soon, very quickly as well. So yeah, man, that's why we have our heritage taken from us. A part of our heritage is having the eating live fruit from straight from the tree, fresh from the tree, as fresh as you can get. Once again, drinking the water straight from the wells, a spring, waterfalls, man. When the kingdom comes, man, one of the first things I want to do to drink straight from a waterfall, man. One of the purest waterfalls, have the Lord, or even just have the Lord pop up. Which we're gonna have the spiritual power to also do. The Lord's gonna give us to do. Pop up a whole spring of water right there to drink from it, with golden cups. For golden cups, drinking from gold too. There's benefits behind it. Behind touching gold, drinking from gold, or even eating gold. So with that, man, that's the point, man. Shalom. Hopefully this video was edifying and exhorting for edification for you elect. And a bar to bar.